Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Rob Stark, and today's video is going to be on Brawl. Alright, so today what I was going to do is go over some of my tips for Brawl Ball, give you my thoughts on it, and give you what I think are the best team combinations. I'll give you the best overall team combination I think, and then the best free-to-play team combination. Alright, man, are you guys loving this game mode? I think it's so much fun. Totally different from so many different games. You don't see soccer in a shooter game. How many games is that compatible in where you can really do that sort of thing? I think it's awesome. Alright, so let's get into the tips. So one of the first things I would say is at the beginning of the game, like the first 15 seconds, don't run straight towards the ball. Everyone is going to be pretty much shooting at the ball in general. So many people shoot at the ball at the beginning of the game. If you're there right away, you're probably going to get hit really easily and just help them build up their super. Just sort of go for kills. Like the first 15 seconds, just go for kills, build up your super, and then use that momentum to try and push up, the field. One thing you can do though is you can try and take the ball and just pass it to them so they can't shoot. And you're going to end up doing this probably a couple times throughout the game when you're in any panic situation or whatever. You get the ball and you just want to throw it towards them so they can't attack you for a second. Definitely works. Another thing too is if you're like about to die and you have the ball, either throw it to a teammate or throw it just up the field so it takes them further for them to get to your goal. I think one really good strategy, especially probably in all these maps actually really, but especially in the one right now, is try and break open the middle boxes near their goal, and that way you have more room to shoot. You can sort of shoot from further away, you can shoot from the sides, and you can shoot from the middle, and it makes it harder for them to defend. Especially like if you have your super, because if you have your super, you can just shoot almost from the goal line. If you guys don't know this, if you use your super to shoot, it goes a lot further and faster I think too, and you can shoot almost from the goal line to into their goal. It's really awesome. Another strategy you can do though is, I know a lot of people, it sort of seems like they're just sort of running around, not really passing it that much, but one thing that's really good is if you have someone just go up the field and sort of like go in one of the side lanes to where they sort of can see the goal, and then you have the ball carrier go in the middle and they sort of just draw the enemies towards the ball carrier, and then you shoot it, you pass it to your teammate on the side, and then they can run past everyone. You sort of want that teammate to be past everyone. I think in soccer it'd probably be offsides, but in this is what you really want. And then one other really good strat is if you're a Mortis, you can actually sort of just be your own one-man team sometimes. You don't want to do this too often, but you can pass it to where you want to go, and then you dash to the ball, and then again you pass it and you dash to it. You pass it, you dash to it. And it actually works really well. Definitely seen a lot of Mortises do that and score by themselves. It's a pretty good strat. Alright, now I want to sort of rate each of the brawlers. I'm not really going to rate them, sort of classify them. Okay, so one of the things I think that's important is you want to have your primary goal scorer, or your forward, you can say, who's going to have a lot of health, or a good amount of health, and or is fast. So they're pretty much either going to be Mortis, Bull, or Primo. Those are probably, you want at least one of those on your team, and they're going to be the person who's the furthest up the field and probably scoring the most goals. And then you're going to have at least one, or you can have two of these. You need at least one secondary goal scorer, who in my mind is again someone who has decent health, is probably a mid-range unit, and they can also deal a good amount of damage. So like Tara is really good, and Shelly and Nita are really good, and both Tara and Shelly can open up boxes, and same with Primo and Bull can open up boxes. You can have two of those, Tara, Nita, Shelly, on the field. That definitely works. And then I think the other one you want to have is just again either damage or sort of like area control, like a Barley, a Spike, or a Crow. Those are all really good in that role. Dynamite is okay, because there's so much Mortis going around, he's not as good. It's harder for him to hit Mortis than it is for Barley. Yeah, and those people are really just focusing on doing a lot of damage. They're trying to use their supers to stop enemies, movements. It's really easy. Some people end up grouping up, especially when you're getting close to their goal. So that's where like Barley super and Spike super is especially really good, or just as a last resort to defend your own goal. And then these brawlers are probably not as good. You can maybe use them, it might depend on some of the maps. But my first impressions, I probably wouldn't use these brawlers, and I probably wouldn't use Ricochet, I probably wouldn't use Piper, I wouldn't use Poco. I probably wouldn't use Pam. I wouldn't use Jesse. Colt is okay. Brock is okay. Bo is okay. But they're all not really great brawlers to use, I think, for Brawl Ball. I think you want to stick to people who can deal a lot of damage and or have a lot of health. I think those are the key things. And the one thing that Colt and like Ricochet can do a lot of damage, but they sort of die too easily, and it's gonna be hard for them to score goals because they don't have much health, and as soon as they get close, enemies spawn and they can attack them fairly quickly. Alright, and then as far as the best team combinations, I think the best overall, and man, this is very pay to win, so this is why I'm doing a free to play one too. Best overall is probably Mortis, Tara, and Spike. I think really good. Mortis can score goals really easily. Tara can do a lot of damage, and her super is good at either pulling enemies back or pulling them all together, and then Spike can combo them and do a lot of damage. Spike is just good at a lot of damage, and his super is good at slowing people down, and when they're sort of trying to stop you from scoring the ball, Spike is also good at that. I think it's just a well-rounded comp. And then for my free-to-play comp, I would say probably the best, in my opinion, is El Primo, Shelly, and then either a Nita or a Barley. One of the reasons Nita is so good is when you throw her bear, oftentimes people just sort of ignore the bear somewhat because they want to just go for the ball. And Nita is definitely doesn't do a ton of damage at once, but with her bear, can be pretty deadly. And she helps even the field. Barley is definitely really good. Do a lot of area control damage, and then El Primo can go forward. The one thing to keep in mind is the ball does bounce off of walls. A small tip. And then another thing, it is good to keep in mind that you can sort of, when the enemy's getting close to the goal, definitely try and body block, and be careful about if you are able to body block the shot, make sure not to walk the ball into your own goal. I've definitely seen people do that. It's easier to do than you would think. And another thing too is be careful, like if they shoot the ball at you and you're shooting and you're facing the other way, you can easily just like shoot it into your own goal or just back to the enemy. Okay, and then as far as overtime, so if you guys don't know, when overtime hits, all the grass and all the boxes just completely explode as soon as it hits 0. Doesn't matter where everyone is, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. So one thing for overtime is if you realize that you're probably going to end up in overtime, try and save your super, because it's a lot easier to score with all the boxes out of the way, and you can just shoot from far away as soon as you have an open lane. And honestly, I think my #1 tip is try and get all of your teammates into Discord. You guys know what Discord is? It's a free voice app. Man, it makes so much of a difference if you can just be like, hey, pass me the ball, like I'm up in the field, like no one's here. Or, oh, there's this guy who's going left and I can't get to him in time. You got to help out. Just stuff like that. Honestly, it makes a big difference, especially in terms of, using your supers. Like if you're a Tar and you'd be like, hey, look, I'm going to blow up in the middle. And why don't you use your ultimate there too, and we can kill them all, and then we'll broken up the middle and we can just walk in. Stuff like that. It definitely helps a lot. Alright, that is all my tips and tricks for Brawl Ball at the moment. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching the video, and catch you next time.